Do you like mysteries? To wander through the enigmatic mist of the inexplicable? Great. I'm Merc, and here you'll find what you're looking for. Welcome to my domains. The truth dissolves into the mist.
In June 2025, a woman who helped safeguard America's most dangerous secrets walked out of her house and vanished into thin air. Melissa Casias was not a spy, nor a contractor with a troubled past. She was a routine employee at the Los Alamos National Laboratory, the very birthplace of the atomic bomb. Her job gave her access to nuclear weapons data, security protocols, and the internal networks that keep the country's arsenal silent and ready. On the morning of June 12, 2025, she clocked in as usual. Surveillance logs placed her inside the secure perimeter. Then, nothing. Think about that for a second. A federal employee inside a facility guarded by armed response teams, motion sensors, and biometric locks, and she simply disappears without a single alert being triggered. Her car was later found in the employee parking lot. Keys still in the ignition, her lunch still sitting on the passenger seat. The FBI took over the case within 48 hours, a standard move for any disappearance on federal property. But the press release was unusually vague. 3 sentences, no description of what she was wearing, no request for public tips. Local news picked up the story for a day, then dropped it. The silence was the first sign that something was deeply wrong. Melissa was not the first Los Alamos employee to go missing under strange circumstances. She was just the most recent. Over the past 3 years, at least 6 other individuals with direct ties to US nuclear facilities have either died unexpectedly or disappeared without explanation. Their names appear in police blotters for a day, then vanish from search results. But if you dig into the archives, a pattern begins to emerge. Take the case of Dr. Rajan Mehta, a physicist who worked on neutron initiators at the same lab. In March 2024, he failed to show up for a classified briefing. His colleagues assumed he was sick. 3 days later, his rental car was found parked along a remote forest road in the Gemses Mountains. Engine running, driver's door wide open. Search teams covered the area for 2 weeks. They found his jacket caught on a branch, a single boot near a creek, but no body, no note, no evidence of struggle, death. The sheriff's office ruled it a probable accidental death due to exposure. But Mehta was an experienced hiker, and the weather that week was mild, with clear skies. Then there was Cynthia Vale, a human resources officer at the Sandia National Laboratories, which shares many classified programs with Los Alamos. In November 2024, she was found dead in her home. Cause of death, asphyxiation. The medical examiner labeled it a suicide, but her family insisted she had no history of depression and had just received a promotion. Her phone and laptop were never returned to the family. The FBI cited an ongoing administrative review and has not commented since. By the time Melissa Casias disappeared in June 2025, at least 4 similar cases had already been quietly closed. But Melissa's case was different, because she had reportedly scheduled a meeting with an internal whistleblower hotline just 2 days before she vanished. According to a source who spoke to the BBC on condition of anonymity, Melissa had flagged irregularities in security protocol, documentation involving the handling of classified waste materials. That might sound mundane, but in a nuclear lab, waste includes contaminated equipment, old neutron sources, and even tritium residues. Mismanagement in that area is not a clerical error, it is a potential national security breach. Now ask yourself this. If a low-level security analyst uncovers a dangerous flaw in the system, who is more likely to disappear, the flaw or the analyst? Melissa's body was found almost 1 year later, in June 2026. A group of hikers stumbled upon skeletal remains in a remote ravine about 40 miles south of Los Alamos. Dental records confirmed the identity. The cause of death was listed as undetermined, with the report noting that no signs of blunt force trauma or gunshot wounds were visible on the remaining bones. But here is where the official story begins to crack. The location of the remains, that ravine, had been searched twice by ground teams and once by helicopter drones in the weeks following her disappearance. The FBI stated that seasonal rains could have moved the remains downhill. However, forensic experts consulted by independent journalists pointed out that a full skeleton does not travel 40 miles through rough terrain without being scattered or damaged. Melissa's remains were found largely intact, still wearing fragments of the same clothing she had on the day she disappeared. The temperature in that area can drop below freezing at night. Decomposition would have been slow, but animals would have scattered the bones within weeks. The fact that they were found together suggests the body was placed there long after the initial search concluded. That is not a theory you will find on any official report, but it is a conclusion that haunts every investigator who has looked at the case files. In the months following the discovery of Melissa's remains, 3 more individuals connected to Los Alamos died under circumstances that local authorities called accidental, but that colleagues described as impossible. A chemical engineer slipped and fell into an open coolant tank inside a locked laboratory. The safety guard on that tank had been removed 1 week prior, with no maintenance log entry. A security escort assigned to the plutonium facility died in a single-car crash on a straight, dry highway at 2 in the morning. Toxicology came back clean. The investigation lasted 5 days. Garhel, and a data analyst who had worked directly with Melissa on the waste documentation project, was found, unconscious in her own garage due to carbon monoxide poisoning. Her car's engine was running, but the garage door had been manually closed from the outside. Each of these deaths was processed, filed, and forgotten within a month. No joint investigation was ever announced. No congressional oversight committee requested a briefing. But you are still watching this video, which means you already understand something that the mainstream media refuses to say out loud. When people who guard nuclear secrets start dying in impossible ways, it is not a coincidence. It is a pattern. The BBC report that broke the Melissa Casias story included a single line that most readers skipped. It said that her internal whistleblower complaint referenced materials unaccounted for during 2 routine inventories. In plain English, something was missing from America's nuclear stockpile, and Melissa Casias knew what it was. She never named the missing item in the complaint, but former Los Alamos employees who have spoken off the record say the most likely candidates are either a small quantity of weapons-grade plutonium or a neutron generator small enough to fit inside a backpack. If that is true, then Melissa Casias was not a random victim. She was a liability, and the people who made her disappear are still inside the system, still accessing those same labs, still signing the same non-disclosure agreements. You have now heard the names of at least 6 individuals who died or vanished. There are more, many more. Some are buried in local coroner reports that have been sealed by court order. Others never even made it to the news. So here is the final question I want to leave with you. If a nuclear laboratory can lose an employee for a full year and then find her body in a place already searched 3 times, what else are they losing? And more importantly, what are they finding?
Did you like this mystery? And what is your theory? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed it, then like and share. I'm Merc, and I'll be waiting for you in the next mystery.